I'm Larry King, welcoming you to another edition of PACTV Community News.
I'm Kim Mio. This week, you'll meet the Duxbury Idol competition winner.
It was just such an amazing feeling, and I had so much support coming back from the community. I felt like a little small-town celebrity.
We traveled to a Memorial Day program in Pembroke.
I heard the sound of taps one night when everything was still. I listened to the Bulger play and felt a sudden chill.
PACTV Community News takes you to a classical concert in Kingston. And meets up with local Emmy Award-winning high school students from Plymouth.
You have kids that are really working in a professional atmosphere that a lot of high school kids do not get around the entire country.
Our health and wellness segment features suggestions from Healthy Appetites.
If you're like me, you love summer in Plymouth. It means we're going to be spending a lot of time at the beach, and spending time at the beach means you've got to protect your skin.
And Town Talk comes from Kingston.
We were pleased to find out recently that Kingston was awarded both a Restoration and Reuse Award.
That and more on this week's edition of PACTV Community News. Kingston vocalist Andrew Garland performed recently at a local benefit concert called Raising Their Voices in Song to raise money for Kingston's First Parish Church, Unitarian Universalist, and the Kingston Public Library Foundation. PACTV Community News was able to spend some time with Andrew Garland before his performance to learn more about this talented Kingston singer.
I actually started singing in this church in First Parish. I joined the choir when I was a sophomore in high school, and I guess the rest is history, as they say. I enjoyed singing. I took it more seriously, took it up in college, and then decided to become a career opera singer. But actually, I got my start here at First Parish Church in the choir and in Silver Lake High School. Today, I and my friends will sing some of our favorite songs in a variety concert. We have myself singing some operatic numbers and some American classical numbers. I have another opera singer here. I have a number of great folk singers, singer-songwriters, a very talented and versatile violinist, and our own in-house band as well. And the funds are for the ticket sales are going to benefit, half will benefit the Unitarian Universalist Service Committee and First Parish here. But the other half of the funds go to the Kingston Public Library Foundation, and we're very glad to be partnering with them. One of our sound guys, the guy named Bill, but he said it's all about the audience. If they don't come, there's a problem. And so I make sure I put together a concert that's not only got some good talent, but also is very exciting, inviting, engaging for the audience. It's something they want to hear, and hopefully, this is our third Andrew Garland and Friends concert. Hopefully, people will begin to associate exciting, varietal programs with that name.
The Duxbury Music Promoters held their annual Duxbury Idol competition this month. From the more than 20 contestants, 9 were chosen to compete before 3 judges and a live audience at Duxbury's Performing Arts Center. PACTV Community News met this year's Duxbury Idol winner.
Singing is my sanctuary. I can start a voice lesson and be all in a tizzy and talking about this and that and the other thing, and the second I sing that first note, it's just clarity and peacefulness, and it comes from a place where it's just calm serenity. All you have to do is focus on the breath and the sound and everything working in like a circular motions. So Duxbury Idol has been around for a bunch of years actually. Molly Jewell was the first winner, who was a judge this year, and we did have a pre-audition. From the 9 contestants that were drawn, there were about 20 to 25 people in the pool, and there were 2 pre-judges, and they're the ones who handpicked the 9 contestants. And we had about 3 weeks to prep for the performance. We were given instructions that we would need 4 songs total, 3 for the rounds, 1 for if we won. First round is voted by the audience, the second round is voted by the judges, and the third round is the audience again. This year I was in the 7th position out of 9 for the opening round. Very weird, and I think the hardest part about having people before you is we're sitting in the back room listening to everyone on stage, and just the thing that's going through your mind is, oh my god, these people are so talented, how am I ever going to compete with them? And my friends are standing next to me, and you have to be supportive, but you're also kind of really rooting for yourself. After the first breath and the first note, and it's just like a rocket. You just go off and you're there and the audience is with you.
Wishing you were somewhere here again. Wishing you were somewhere near.
I went from pop music in the first round to almost classical opera in the second round, which is a huge shift, and I didn't know how the judges would take it. I think beyond just the initial shock of getting through and just excitement, the most wonderful part of it all was that the people who didn't go through immediately turned to the rest of us and gave us hugs and supported us and told us they were rooting for us and were so proud of us.
When he put his arms around her, he said, Julie, baby, you're my flame, now give us fever.
Before I sang my last song, I was so excited that I was through for the first part, and it was between me and Skylar and Tommy, and Skylar and I were joking backstage about how Tommy was totally gonna win. They're coming up to me and saying that they hoped I win, and I was going up to them and saying I hope they win, and all of us definitely wanted it for ourselves, but just the whole supportiveness still carried through even to the last round. And what they did, the judges, was each judge was assigned 1 contestant, and so before we sang our song, they told us why they picked us, why we went through. And I got Molly Jewell, and she said that some of the nicest things I've ever heard about my voice, and so going into that, I kind of had this confidence and this I can do it. And my last song was just fun. It was Fever. And afterwards, when the dust had settled and everything had cleared and we all went out to stand and wait, I knew that there would be a long wait between the decision and the announcement.
The 2013 Duxbury Idol is... Can you handle it? Maddie Farquharson!
The 2 people standing next to me, Pat McLennan and Maddie Tower directly, they just have this look of sheer friendship and happiness and pride in my winning, and it was so nice to be able to see that and have them completely embrace the fact that they didn't go through and I did, and just be so supportive. You know, and I had to keep reminding myself that I had won. It was so nice to sing my first audition song as my last song because it was just a full circle for me. It was just such an amazing feeling, and I had so much support coming back from the community. I felt like a little small town celebrity. I want to continue singing just because it's a part of me that I wouldn't give up for anything in the world. Something about singing just clears things, and it's a mental clarity and an emotional clarity, and it's a wonderful feeling. I have amazing opportunities ahead of me, and I hope to carry my voice with me.
Falling in love, I keep falling in love with you.
Memorial Day remembers the men and women who died while serving in our armed forces. Formerly known as Decoration Day, honoring soldiers who died in the Civil War, Memorial Day has been extended to honor all Americans who have died while fighting in our military service. Pembroke's Bryantville Elementary School held a program to help young people understand Memorial Day, its meaning and significance. PACTV Community News was there.
Lily Brown will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. One nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Veterans Day, a day of honor. Each year on November 11th, our nation comes together to observe a very special holiday. We honor both men and women who have made sacrifices to serve and keep our country safe. We honor all American veterans, both living and dead. This day of honor is called Veterans Day. The men and women who serve our country are very unique people. They are called upon to put their country's needs before their own and making difficult choices. They are separated from family and loved ones, often away from home for long periods of time. Sometimes they end up in hostile countries surrounded by unfamiliar faces and cultures. This is difficult and can be challenging for them. Their mission is to bring peace, but they can never be sure about the final outcome. Nevertheless, they serve their country proudly and honorably.
77 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty, and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. Now we are engaged in a great civil war, testing whether that nation, or any nation, so conceived and so dedicated can long endure. We are met on a great battlefield of that war. We have come to dedicate a portion of that field as a final resting place for those who here gave their lives that that nation might live.
I heard the sound of taps one night when everything was still. I listened to the bulger play and felt a sudden chill. I wondered just how many times that taps had meant amen when a flag had draped a coffin of a brother or a friend. I thought of all the children, of the mothers and the wives, of fathers, sons, and husbands with interrupted lives. I thought about a graveyard at the bottom of the sea, of unmarked graves in Arlington. No freedom isn't free. I was watching television at my home. The race was almost done, and then without a single thought, it sounded like a gun. Some evil people spoiled the day in order to try to have their way. The attack was planned and carried out, but we will win without a doubt. America is strong and people care, although the evil folks might dare. Boston is strong, we wear blue and yellow. Nothing can tear us down, especially that Russian fellow.
Thank you.
This week, PACTV Community News looks inside Plymouth North High School's TV news facility to learn about the school's media curriculum, to see their studios, and to hear about their recent New England Emmy Awards.
What PNN is, it's a bi-weekly high school news program. We go through different segments, whether it be sports, some things inside the school, things outside the school. We even spotlight teachers and students once in a while. It's been a great not only learning experience, but experience journalism-wise for a lot of us. Some of us want to go into careers in journalism. Other people, like myself, I do a lot with videography and film. So we've all been able to kind of pick out something that we've been able to be good at and kind of build off of that.
Never in PNN have we done a live show. So with all this new technology that the new school has granted us, we're going out on a limb and we're trying to do it. So Katie and I are anchoring, and so we wrote the script, and now we've had our teachers look at it, and we're going to start rehearsing for the live show. And so hopefully here we work out all the kinks, and by showtime we're ready to go. And along with the anchors, or us, that we have to be ready for the live, everyone that works on PNN has different roles that they're going to play. So there's going to be directors, there's going to be people making sure that the right segments play at the right times, people putting up graphics. There's going to be other people that are going to introduce their own segments live. So it's very exciting, and it's nerve-wracking, but I think we'll be well prepared, and it's definitely something we're all happy to be a part of.
I would say that there's a lot of hard work that goes into preparing for a newscast like this. You have kids that are really working in a professional atmosphere that a lot of high school kids do not get around the entire country. Tight deadlines, high quality new show is required of them every single time that they put on a show, so that's huge. The fact that nationally we're starting to be recognized is astounding, especially knowing that before this year we didn't have a studio. So I can only imagine, where we're going now, the fact that we have a live show, the fact that we have a 2-week period to make our show the best it can be, which wasn't done in the past.
Recently, we just won a bunch of awards at the New England Emmys. It's a subsidiary of the Emmys you see on TV. And we won for a variety of different things. We won for our writing, for our graphics, and best of all, we won for the best newscast in New England. This has been great for us. In past years, we've also won this category, and hopefully we'll be winning some awards in the fall with the National Emmys.
The mission of Jordan Hospital in Plymouth is to provide high-quality, patient-focused care to residents of the South Shore and Cape Cod. Jordan Hospital offers many services to our community, including medical care, education, and support to people with HIV and their families living in the Plymouth area through their AIDS Comprehensive Care, Education, and Support Services program. PACTV Community News went to the hospital's HIV testing center to find out about this important service.
So my name is Ashley. I work for the Jordan Hospital Access Program. It's the hospital's HIV/AIDS program located in Plymouth, Massachusetts. We offer treatment for HIV-positive individuals, and we also offer free and anonymous HIV testing. We encourage routine HIV testing for adults because 1 out of 5 people with HIV have it and don't even realize it. So that's pretty large. And with 50,000 new infections each year in the United States, a test is important to know your HIV status, not only for yourself, but for others as well. And as an HIV counselor and tester, I use a rapid HIV test, which is quick, it's simple. I just take a small sample of blood from your finger, and 20 minutes later we'll have the results. You can leave my office with the result in the same day, which is great. Right now, according to CDC, about 1.2 million people in the United States are living with HIV, and that's increasing, and it's getting pretty serious as a problem in the United States and the world globally. So we figured someone can come in, get a screening, 20 minutes later they'll know the results, and then they can move forward either HIV negative and staying HIV negative, or they can get into care and we can help them with that process. If you're between 13 and 64, the CDC says you should get tested at least once. If you're higher risk, getting routinely tested would be a great idea. We use Ryan White money, so it's a federal funded program, the Access program, and we have monies to offer treatment for people who are HIV positive. Dr. Marglin is the HIV specialist for them, and then we also have money to do the counseling and testing program. So I encourage anybody to give me a call if they have any questions about HIV, STIs, the testing process, the rapid test I use, or to set up an appointment with me to do a test. I have a very flexible schedule, so just give my number a call with any questions or to set up an appointment. You can reach me at 508-209-3370.
Duxbury's Bay Farm Montessori School is holding its 4th annual International Fair on Sunday, June 2nd from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. This event, open to the public, is a day filled with international flavors and artistic beauty from around the world. You can learn more about Bay Farm Montessori and their international fair at bfarm.org. The fair will feature exhibits offering multicultural arts, crafts, merchandise, fun games, children's activities, international cuisine, and performances by a variety of artists.
Hi, I'm Jeff Hills from Healthy Appetites Natural Foods in Plymouth. I'm here with the PCN Health and Wellness segment. If you're like me, you love summer in Plymouth. It means we're going to be spending a lot of time at the beach, and spending time at the beach means you've got to protect your skin. We got to apply some sunscreen. The problem with sunscreen is most of us are using it the wrong way. The first mistake that most of us make is we don't use enough sunscreen. The FDA recommends using about a shot glass full of sunscreen to cover your entire body. That's about this much. Most of us are using about a quarter of that amount. The problem with that is if you're using a sunscreen that has an SPF of 30 and you use a quarter of the amount you're supposed to use, that drops the SPF factor to 3. So you're barely protecting your skin. That's a problem. The second problem that most of us make is we don't reapply often enough. You've got to reapply your sunscreen every 2 hours, especially if you're spending time in the water. It's gonna wash off, it's gonna rub off, and then you're reducing your protection to next to nothing. The other issue that we have with sunscreens is the SPF factor doesn't really increase that much when you go from 15 up to 50 even. There's a very insignificant amount of protection that you get from going to a higher SPF. You get a real false sense of security but from going from 15 to 50. The more important thing is to use the right amount and to apply it frequently. Another issue that you may want to be aware of with sunscreens is the chemical sunscreens. Those are the sunscreens most of us grew up using. May actually accelerate the growth of skin cancer tumors, and they may disrupt your body's hormone production. So you may want to switch to a physical sunscreen. Those would be sunscreens that are based on titanium dioxide or zinc oxide. Those are going to be better. They don't sink into the skin. They offer great protection. Be aware that they're going to be a little more expensive and they might make you look a little white. But your skin's going to be protected. I can speak from experience. I just spent a week in Florida. You can't tell. So the sunscreens work, the physical sunscreens work. This is Jeff Hills. This has been the PCN Health and Wellness segment.
Hello, my name is Nancy Howlett. I'm the acting town administrator in the town of Kingston. Today I'm in the Adams Center. The building was renovated and was recognized this past week by the Massachusetts Historical Commission for a Preservation Award. Today I have with me Fran and Walter Hogue, and I'm going to have Fran talk to you a little bit about what the process was for the town receiving this award.
Thank you, Nancy. I am Fran Hoig, and I'm a member of the Kingston Historical Commission. And back last fall, the Massachusetts Historical Commission sent out notice that they were looking for projects and people to receive the Preservation Awards for 2013. So the Kingston Historical Commission decided to nominate the Adams Center for the Restoration and Reuse Award, and we also decided to nominate some citizens for the Preservationist Award. This is an award given to people who have contributed over 20 years of service to a historical commission and to historic preservation. We were pleased to find out recently that Kingston was awarded both a Restoration and Reuse Award for the Adams Center and a Local Preservationist Award for Walter Wales Hoig for his over 21 years of service to the Kingston Historical Commission. We're really thrilled about those accomplishments because it's very rare for a community to receive even one award, and for Kingston, a very small town, to receive two was quite a coup, so we were thrilled about that. And as Nancy said, the Adams Center, the restoration began back in the 90s, and it took several years, lots of money, lots of votes at town meeting to make it happen, but it did happen, and now the selectmen have appointed trustees for the building, and they're doing their job getting ready to start using this lovely building. But we're really excited about our Preservationist Award, which went to Walter Hoig. So I'm going to let Walter talk a little bit about the sorts of things he's done here in Kingston as a member of the Kingston Historical Commission. Walter?
Thank you, Fran. Excuse me. 21 years ago, I began with the Historical Commission. At that time, we only had 2 or 3 people on the commission, and we went back and forth, and we lost a couple of people. One moved away. We were down to 3, and then finally we got on target, and we started to build a little bit. I think our first big accomplishment was the demolition delay bylaw. We worked very hard on that, put it into effect, and we've used it ever since. It's worked out very well for us. One of the other things I'd like to speak about is the comprehensive survey. Now, we had to get a group from outside to come in, and we selected a group, and they went around looking at all different structures and homes, and when we were finally done, we had nearly 400 homes and structures on the comprehensive survey, so that was very effective. And we've had several things beyond that we've done. We've never stopped making our move every time we can, and I did want to thank everyone who had done so much for us. All the people on the commission over the years have been very effective, and I won't go into names because if I do, I'll forget somebody for sure. But all the people have been very good, and also in the townhouse, I don't want to leave the people out in the different departments. People have always been great for me and for the commission, and I will name some of those, such as the highway department and the building department and the town administrator, and I could just go on because there's been a great cooperation amongst all the people. So we've been very effective, and we'll continue to do the job as best we can. Thank you.
I would just like to close by saying, on behalf of the Board of Selectmen, Walter, we are so proud of you and offer my congratulations to you. And I want to also thank the residents of Kingston for supporting these worthwhile historical projects, particularly this building. It's going to get great use, and it's going to be under the care of the trustees, and you'll be seeing events here shortly.
Thanks for watching PACTV Community News. Replay times are listed at pactv.org. Click on the PCN logo to watch each complete edition or individual story.
See us on YouTube by searching for the PACTV Community News channel. Also, like us on Facebook to receive previews each week with links to all our stories.
Thanks for watching. Join us next week for more PACTV Community News.